The TrekWorks YouTube channel is sponsored by Tenna Controls, makers of lighting kits, soundboards, and more. Tenna Controls brings your models to life. And by HDA Model Works, suppliers of scale model lighting products, detail parts, and complete model kits. Visit HDAModelWorks.com today. Hello and welcome to my fellow modelers out there. Boyd here with you. Well guys, what you're seeing in front of you is quite literally the biggest project that I've ever taken on here in the TrekWorks model shop, and I am super excited to share this with you guys today and get started on this. What you're looking at is the classic original Starship Enterprise from the original television show, which you guys know that have followed me for very long is my absolute favorite ship. This is the ship that I grew up with. You know, no offense against the refit. I love the refit, but the original ship is still the one for me. I just still love the design and grew up watching it, and I never dreamed I'd have a chance to work on a model kit this big and this beautiful of this classic Starship design. So we're going to have an up-close look at it on the bench here today and talk about the build plan. This is going to take a long time. This isn't going to be a 2 or 3 segment build that you're used to seeing here on the channel. This is probably going to take a year, maybe a little longer, because we're going to do everything right and to the highest standard I can possibly do. I'm going to use nothing but the best on it, and a lot of things need to be worked out still as we go along. We need to design an armature for it. We're not going to use any plumbing pipes or anything like that. We're going to design a really nice carbon fiber armature for this, modern technology, along with a really nice display stand to put it on, which will be movable and heavy duty and telescopic and all that, and have its own internal power supply. When we get it all finished up, we hope to take it to one of the big model shows, like Wonderfest or something like that. Probably not this year's, or maybe not even next year's, but coming down the road, we'll definitely want to do that. And you guys are going to get to follow along with every segment of this build here on the channel, as long as it takes. Now, I've been building several of the 1/350 scale TOS Enterprise kits from Polar Lights. You guys that follow the channel know that. I'm up to around 35 of those builds now, and I don't really show too many of those on the channel anymore because I've just done so many of them. And I've done several build series. I've got probably over 600 videos on the channel now, and we've already kind of covered a lot of that. I've talked to you guys how I don't like to retread over things that I've already showed. So you can look at all the build series of the TOS and the refit that I've done and see those if you want to reference those for your builds going forward. But this one here, we're going to show you every single segment of the build and take you through an incredible experience here in the shop. You're going to have just as much fun as I am when you follow along as I am building this. So with that said, let's take a little closer look at some of the parts here. And as you can see, this saucer is about the size of a coffee table, you guys. It's just huge. This kit is 72 inches long, or exactly 6 feet long when it's finished. So as far as I know, it's the largest garage kit of this model that's ever been produced. And let me tell you also that it's by far head and shoulders the most quality, or best quality, best design kit I've ever seen of this, because I've seen them all. I've seen the old Keys model kit. Steve Neal did a great job with what he had to work with on his 66-inch, using the old molding techniques and resin and all that. But this is just absolutely fantastic, guys. It's all done with modern pressure casting and carbon fiber, which makes it extremely strong and extremely lightweight. I'm being told that this model, all said and done, when fully complete, weighs less than 25 pounds. Now, going back 4 or 5 years, the way this was done, that would weigh 2 or 3 times that much. And resin would have issues with warping over time, and resin's just nasty to work with anyway. If you've ever worked with it, you'll know exactly what I mean, all the dust and everything. And this is designed like a giant styrene model kit. And I'm just going to give you a scale comparison here with the saucer. This is the 1/350 scale Polar Lights Enterprise, and you can see the difference here, guys. Isn't that amazing? It's pretty much like holding up the 1/1000 scale next to the 350. This is huge, and I'm going to get you a little closer and kind of lay the camera more flat here so you can see the quality of this casting. It's just beautiful. It's so smooth and perfect, and I've mocked this model up using some tape and everything fits together exactly right. No warped parts, no excess resin or any of that garbage that we're used to dealing with on a lot of these. I've worked on a lot of garage kits, and they need tons of cleanup work before you can even get started building anything. So this is a real pleasure to have something like this to start with. And I'm going to take the lid off of the saucer here so you can see the beautiful carbon fiber work that I'm talking about here on both the top and the bottom. And this is feather light in my hand, guys. I mean, this doesn't weigh anything. It just blows me away how you know, this modern technology is working, and you can see the quality of this. It's just phenomenal. So, but I can't wait to get started on this. As I said, we're going to be taking you through each and every step of this. I'm going to get this laid back down on here. Having a look at some more of the parts here, you can see we have the Shuttle Bay, which has been 3D printed. I'm going to show you the detail of this. I've started to put some primer. Little piece of stuff stuck on there. Little primer that I've put in here to start smoothing it out. But just look at the detail in here, guys. Isn't this gorgeous? I mean, can you imagine how this is going to look when it's all painted and detailed and lighted with a couple of shuttlecraft in there and maybe some in-scale crew figures and everything? I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And as a Star Trek fan, I just can't even believe I'm looking at this stuff. It's just phenomenal. Here we'll have a look at the bridge, again, which was 3D printed. It's probably a little bit bigger than a 50-cent piece, and quite a bit bigger than the 350 scale that I'm used to working on, where you can only do so much, you know, because it's so small. But we're going to use some photo etch parts in here to make everything look crisp and clean, especially the, you know, all the lit up screens and everything. And then I'll look around for some in-scale crew figures, which will be a lot nicer to work with, because I can paint them, you know, better and add more detail on them than I'm used to working with the microscopically small figures that I have to use on the 350 scale, which we, you know, we still get them to look pretty good, but you can get them to look really good at this scale. So just some more of the parts here. Let me point out these pylons to you. These are done in solid resin with a really nice high quality piece of solid aluminum rod that's been cast in there. So these are never going to warp or bend or anything. They're probably the heaviest part of the entire model. You can see you got a nice trench all the way down, all the way through there for the wiring, and just superbly engineered all the way through. My hat's off is to the designer of this kit. It's just absolutely fantastic. And look at the quality of the casting here on these engine end caps, guys. There's no garbage, you know, that you usually see on resin stuck in between those ribs or anything. It's just beautiful, and hard to believe it can be done at that scale. The same thing goes for the nacelles here. They are just beautiful. I'm just going to kind of shine show you the sheen that's on these guys. Look how beautiful and smooth these are. Again, no sanding or priming has been done on these at all yet, and they're going to clean up fantastic and look absolutely perfect when we're done. I've started to work on the secondary hull here a little bit. I've opened up some of the windows. I had to go out and buy some special files for this, because this is carbon fiber, and it's quite a bit harder than regular resin. So you have to file a little bit at a time. It's kind of messy because it creates sort of a black dust whenever you work with it. It's almost like powdered pencil lead, so you have to stop every so often and clean it all up so you can see what you're doing. And but don't worry, we'll have it all cleaned up and everything when we're done. That'll be the first process I'm going through on this build. I'm going to start by opening up all the windows on all these parts around the secondary hull and around the saucer before we can even think about doing any assembly. And then by the time we get around to the assembly work and everything, we're going to want to design our armature and everything to go in there, because the secondary hull will be the first thing that I assemble, and that all has to be done internally, and we're going to kind of build it from the ground up. But you can see the sheen also on this part here. Like I said, it's like a giant styrene part. It's absolutely beautiful. And look at the detail on our sensor support here. The forward sensor dish, deflector dish. It's just absolutely beautiful. There's the deflector dish itself. Here's the internal support that goes inside the model, which those pylon struts go down in there and sit inside these sockets, which make it really, really strong, and that'll get epoxied to the inside of the hull, all done in with a 3D printer. So it fits just perfectly. Like I said, everything's really well engineered. Here's some more of the engine parts, manifolds up here. I don't have every single little part laid out for this. And I'm still waiting on a couple of more small little detail parts to get here for this, but we'll have those, no worries. And again, here's a nice look at the saucer. And so anyways, guys, I hope you'll follow along with this one. As I mentioned, you're going to get to see every single segment of this build, and it's just going to be an incredible experience for the viewers and for me to get to build this. Now, along the way, this is going to be a really expensive project, guys, and I'm not a rich guy here at all. People think I'm getting rich building models. I keep my prices pretty low on my builds here for my clients and everything. I'm not getting rich at all. I mainly do these for the love of modeling. It's, you know, making a little money is okay, but I'm mainly doing this for the love of modeling. And as you know, over the years, I've never asked anybody for any donations or anything on the channel. We had people donate for our refit, which we're still working on that. And I'm glad you guys are all being really patient on that. We're going to get around to being able to talk about that here some point in the not too distant future, the studio scale enterprise refit project. It's just so expensive to create molds and everything. But we're going to ask that maybe if the viewers would like, they can donate along the way to help us out with this. As I said, that'll help with the design of the armature and everything. This kit, it will not be for sale. I'm not making any money off of it. When we're finished, this kit was bought by Jerry at HDA Model Works and sent to me to build. And Jerry's going to display it, like I said, at a couple of shows probably after it's finished, and then it'll probably be in his shop when it's all done. But if you guys would like to help us out here, we'd really appreciate that. It'll probably be through PayPal or something like that. You guys will just be able to donate voluntarily as we go, and hopefully we'll get up enough funds to you know, do the armature. We'll do it anyway. It'll just take longer if I have to spend the money myself or anything. It'll just take longer that way. But again, I'm not going to hide any videos from you guys on this build. Some of the channels have gone to pay-per-view and all that, and you guys know from the very beginning I don't believe in that. We're going to show you every little step of this build, whether you donate or not. And but hopefully you will, because you'll help. You know, you want to be a part of this and help see it through. So it's going to be really exciting, guys. So I'll be back with more to come on this very soon. I'm going to be, as I said, starting off working on the secondary hull. We'll take you on the bench and show you some of that work going on, getting all the windows open up, some of the more tedious kind of work, but it's all important and what leads to the final model in the end. So we'll catch up with you again on the next update on this one, everybody. And until then, take care and happy modeling, everyone.